Hey everybody, welcome. How you doing? It's live stream time once again. Yay. My name's John Limcool. I hope you're all doing well. Let's get everything all set up. Time slipped away on me. I was shaving and brushing my teeth and look up and it's 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, okay. I better hurry up and get to the live stream. I bet there's somebody there waiting to say hi, so thank you all. So we have some fun things to show you today. My goodness. Action-packed as always, right? So I hope you're all doing well. Taylor is in the house. Yay. Hi, Taylor. Hey, Jim, Don, Bram, Rob, Simeon with Praise Tracks, my good friend. Ivar is here. Kasaka-san in Japan. Hey, Siri, what time is it in Tokyo, Japan? It's 4:06 a.m. in Japan. I think Kasaka-san gets up every... Is it really 4:06 a.m.? Hi, John from Texas. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. We do this every Saturday. We have a good time just jamming and hanging out and talking about synthesizers and plugins and libraries. And I have some cool things to show you today. My goodness. Later in the show, I'm going to play a real guitar. And I'm laughing because I can't really play guitar. So you guys get to laugh with me. But I have some, I didn't put it into the video description. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit behind on today. But there is some free plugins you guys need to know about that are really cool. There's new synthesizers. There's, oh my gosh. Minimal Audio has one of the coolest things to show you guys. The new Evoke plugin is insane. For those of us that can't sing, that wish we could sing into something that sounded good in a track, they've got something really cool. So, contrast, yes. So 4 a.m. before dawn. Kasaka-san, I hope I get to meet you someday because I need to say thank you for someone that gets up at 4 a.m. to sit and hang out while we talk about plugins and libraries and stuff like that. Anyway, thank you. My name's John Limcool. This is the live stream. I own a website called pluginguru.com for those of you that are new to the channel. I make sound libraries, and I love to make sound libraries. I've been doing it for a long time. I started with Korg in 1989 as a sound designer, actually as product specialist for the first 6 months to a year. And then I sent them sounds that I made while I worked at a music store in Seattle for the M1. And they asked me to work on the PCM drum card for the M1. So that was my first voicing project. And then I was kind of shifted more into full-time voicing from that point forward. And I've worked on the wave stations, and I've worked on all the wave drums and T series, O&W series, Trinity, Triton, Z1 was a wonderful synth to work on. Oasis, Kronos 2. A lot of the drum samples are either samples that I went out and helped produce, or else I created them myself. I did the sample maps, lots of programming in all those machines. So I started there, and in 2009, I started pluginguru.com, and I started this YouTube channel. And now we're at 44,400 subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, I should say you should subscribe, because we are always doing new libraries for plugins. Lately, it's been libraries just for Unify, just because it's our own plugin and it has protection. So yes, it has a condom, comes with a condom, but it has protection so that the libraries are licensed, so that you buy a license. I sell libraries at a very reasonable rate. And now you can add these libraries, and I don't worry about them showing up on eBay for $10 2 weeks later, which is what was happening when I was releasing like Omnisphere libraries and other libraries for other plugins that have no protection. They're able to get lifted very easily and put into torrent sites and stuff like that. So anyway, I have a little sale. It's not an advertised sale. It's a newsletter sale. So if you're not part of the newsletter, make sure you come down here and subscribe to the newsletter. If you have subscribed in the past and you want to get back on it, you have to write to us. Because if you unsubscribe, we have to manually resend out the invitation for you to confirm through MailChimp. You can't resubscribe yourself. They don't seem to have a way to let you do that. Anyway, if you, what is it? I'm going to, just because my brain is this way, I need to make sure that I tell you the right promo code really quick. But I have a promo code sale going on, which I do from time to time on the weekend, do a little weekend sale. It's $20 to spend. So it's, let me give you the promo. I'll put the promo code into the chat. I'm giving you all a $20 bill this weekend to play with. So it's the $20 in your pocket weekend. And let me see here. How can I see? View my email, please. Because I'm streaming, of course, now everybody else is slow. So, hi, thank you. There you go. So here is the promo code. It's all small caps, $20 to spend, just like that. 20. So here's promo code. Promo code $20 to spend. And I'm letting that be a sale even on MegaMagic Guitars Volume 5, the new library that just came out. Usually we don't do this, but, you know, I like my customers, and I want, you know, times are a little tight right now with finances, and people are worrying about things. And so here's a chance to save some money on some new sounds to get yourself inspired. There's over 150 libraries now. It's pretty crazy for all sorts of plugins. You can click here for what plugin you want patches for. If I go to Omnisphere, there's like 45 libraries for Omnisphere. So I've supported Omnisphere for a long time. You can find them on torrent sites and eBay, but please don't buy them there. Buy them from me. That way they are on the website so you can download them in the future. But there's all sorts of really cool libraries. If you go to Unify, I think we're actually to the point, I think we're about to pass Unify with the number of libraries compared to Omnisphere. And Omnisphere was the library, the plugin I've supported the most, but the last 4 or 5 years, it's been pretty much all Unify. And because they're sample-based and I can do as many samples on a sample map as I want, not just one, like Omnisphere, the libraries can be a lot more mature, grown up, and do a lot more cool things. So, yeah, there's a lot of really cool libraries for Unify. And so we love to support our customers with new sounds. You get to load your own plugins. I'm going to show you a couple cool things with this. Just as a starting production, remember all your plugins are available when you're calling up these patches. So when I'm playing this, if I go to this guitar sound, I can see that's right here. I could click on my audio effects and I could go to, let's do this. I've been playing around, and we'll be playing around in a little while with Valhalla Supermassive. This is a free, it should be paid because it's so good. It's a really, really cool, and you can slow it down if you want it to be a delay. So but you can go down here to the presets. If you go down to reverbs and like large, Cygnus is super cool. I make it a little bit shorter. This is really, really nice. And it's because, you know, the way Unify works, it's not on the master effects. If we go over here to the master, oh, I can't see them. There's some bug with my computer with Unify 1 now where the master effect layer sometimes is hidden. I don't know. Can you email us at unifysupport@pluginguru.com if this is happening for other people? I don't know why. I have a super wide monitor, so I'm thinking that it has something to do with that, but I can't see the master effects. But if we went to the master effects right here, you would be able to see, you could add an effect, and then because I have the bass, and I have the rhythmic guitar happening as well as that lead guitar. And by adding effects just to the insert effects, of course, you're affecting only that one layer in this complex setup. Just add some drums to this. And another library that we'll show a bit of today that's really fun. And we could add to this is we could go where you at Groove Summit under the G's. Go over here to the BPM drums in Camp 3. Camp 3 is the acoustic drum kits and stuff like that. So we could say like Snappy Basic Pop. Add that as a new Unify layer so it loads everything in. And now and off you go. And if you want a different groove, because I loaded it as a Unify layer, I can just double click to, let's open this. Let's see, make sure that sound is okay. They're all good libraries. It's just like what kind of directions. Watch the video walkthrough. That's a really good hint as to what to do. Since I double click to open this, you see it's already selected this. If I go down to past Camp 5, you get to the Summit. And the Summit is where all of the different hip-hop, weird grooves, drum kits, percussion, and electronic drum kits. There's 5 camps for 5 different types of drum grooves. They all get together. At the Summit, there's actually 3 different groups. There's group 1, which is more acoustic-oriented. So if I say Cool Aid, this will give me like a cool acoustic. Right? If I go to Camp 2, this is going to give me more electronic oriented. You know, so you got all these kind of different jams. And then Camp 3 of the Summit are percussion grooves that are just percussion. And what's fun is because the way Unify works, even though this is a layer inside of Unify, I could still go up here to somewhere else. Like say I wanted to add a drum groove to this. So I could go to Camp 3, which is acoustic drum kits, and go to Camp 3. And let's get to the grooves up here. Like here's the modern pop. Let's say we want to do Techno Terror with an acoustic kit. So we say, load this into Unify as a layer. So inside of this Unify that's inside of Unify, we've added another Unify. So you can literally get lost jamming for days and days and days with how this works. So don't be afraid to add your own plugins from everything you have. Another thing that's fun to try is if you go over here to something like, oh, where are they at? I'm not gonna. Well, even Dawson's really cool, but I'm looking for Devious Machines. Infiltrator is like this kind of like multi-effect that can do pretty serious mangling to the sound. Oh. So that's just on the lead guitar. So, I mean, play with your effects. Unify is the place to experiment and say, what if this played with this? Then if you want, you go down to the macro knobs and you get those setups that you can automate changing parameters that you see on the screen. All you have to do is go to a page that doesn't hit the ear, move something in a plugin, and it's now connected, so you're changing it. So now you can automate this with your sequencer. It's super addictive to hit the ear a couple times on a couple different parameters, and boom, off you go. So that's the tip to start with, is play with your plugins. That's what Unify is for. These presets are to give you a set of sounds, but they're clay. So you can shape them in all sorts of really cool ways. Is Unify 2 update for Unify 1, or can you run? You can run both at the same time. You won't want to run Unify 1 anymore once you've played with Unify 2. I can pretty much guarantee you. There is so much new. Where our airplane, the wings are the wheels are starting to come out, so we'll be landing the airplane soon, and then I can talk about what it can do. Can't talk about it yet, but yes, it's a separate Unify with a 2 at the end of it, so that it is able to be loaded into the same song. We don't want Unify 1 to be you know, you have a whole bunch of songs over the last 5 years. We didn't want to try to like make something that said Unify that had to be compatible, because we've modified a lot of stuff inside of it. So got a release date for this. I don't have an absolute date. I talked to Paul about it, and there's a few things that we're still trying. I mean, the dude, I mean, I wish he was here because we could give him a big shout out, because he is working so hard for you guys. You have no idea the hours he is putting in, the care he is putting into. You will see once this comes out. You will see where we have gone. It's super exciting stuff. But anyway, there's a sale to website. So $20 to spend. Pick out a library, put in that promo code at the checkout page, and $20 comes out the price. One tip that I always tell people, and I didn't in this week's newsletter, but make sure if you use that, only use it on one library at a time. If you want to get a couple libraries, buy them separately, so that you save $20 on each library instead of just $20 on your whole purchase. You'll save more money that way. So there you go. People will not be able to buy Unify 1 after Unify 2 comes out. That will be a cutoff date where we stop making Unify 1 available. That's the way. I mean, I'm new at this software thing. This is our first plugin that we've released for sale, stuff like that. So that's how I want to do it, just to keep things simple and clear. So yeah. Can a live stream also be made for fun no matter what? Rob, I don't know what that means. Can a live stream what? Unify 2 is currently available, is compatible with Intel Macintosh computers. Yes. There will be a discount for Unify 1 owners. Yes. There will be an upgrade path, and there will be the purchase price and stuff like that. I don't know what to tell you. We're a small company of 3 people. And so we're not able to do, it's a new version of Unify. And anything we make from the day Unify 2 comes out won't work in Unify 1. The patches aren't compatible. So showing you stuff in the live stream with Unify 2 when you're sitting with Unify 1, you'll be complaining to me that I didn't make it compatible for Unify 1. So sorry. It's just, that's how we want to do it. That's how I want to do it, just to try to keep from going insane, because it's a lot of work to make software. It's a lot of work to support software. The software, Apple and Intel and even Microsoft, they're changing things inside the software all the time, requiring updates, and we can't update 2 plugins with 2 completely different worlds made by 2 completely different people. We are using the base code of Unify 1 to make Unify 2, but Paul has pretty much updated every aspect of Unify to have all sorts of new capabilities and stuff like that. I know, that's what I'm wondering, Northwood. You guys are all going to want to upgrade. When you see what happens and what's coming, there's so much. We are working from like morning until 3 and 4 in the morning nonstop to make something really cool. And Unify has been around for 5 years. Shane hasn't released an update in over a year. It's time for Unify 1 to say our thank yous and send Unify 1 to be on its pedestal, and Unify 2 is going to take over. That's how I'm getting it to work. Hi, Aquatic. How you doing? Unify is one of those. I think everybody should, because even people that aren't professional musicians have how many plugins now? Because all these companies make them so affordable, make them really reasonable in a lot of cases, and like too reasonable if you ask me. But that's how you get sales to be in bigger numbers, is like just, give it away. As you will see, we've got software to show you that big companies are giving away. They'd have their marketing teams tying in with all sorts of things. So we'll look at that to show you what's going on. But yeah, Unify 2, I want to talk about only Unify 2 once Unify 2 is out. So that's how it's going to be. Well, I'm new at this software thing, so I'm not trying, you can't compare what we're doing with any other company, because this does things that no other company could do. We're basically making a DAW as a plugin that can load all of your plugins and manipulate them in cool ways. And the ways you can manipulate your plugins with Unify 2 is just going to it's astronomical, the number of ways that it expands. So, but I can't talk about anything specific yet. We're really close, but I promised Paul, and I promised myself, I'm the type of person that likes to share everything, right? I want to tell you about all the stuff that's going on with everything, but I can't. Just not okay. It'll be a sad day that Unify is no longer number one. Well, now Unify 2 will be number one, So it's going to be a great day. I mean, with what Unify 2 can do, you'll look at this and you'll kind of be like, okay, this was a really good start. It's kind of it's gone quite a bit in the. I don't like to buy Unify 2, but I like the batteries and just. No, there's no license for Unify 1 after Unify 2 is out. We'll make the software that's currently available for Unify 1 customers, and all the libraries up to this date work for Unify 1 and Unify 2. But anything made and released once Unify 2 comes out doesn't work with Unify 1. So it's not one of those things where, trust me, once you see the level of control and the things you can do, the modulation assignment, this right here, for assigning, this grows up in ways that are just incredible. And nobody's doing what we are doing. What you're going to see is, I can't tell you what it is yet, but, it's even there. And there's so much. So enough to talk about Unify 2. We could sit here and talk about Unify 2 the whole time, and I can't tell you anything, so I'm not able to give you the granules of information that you want, right? But anyway, so there's a sale on the website, $20 to spend. We'll save you some money. We'll talk synth programming at the last part of the show if there's time. I have so much to show you guys. It's not even funny. In fact, I have to go over here to this so that I look at the image to make sure I don't forget something to show you, because there is an awful lot on the list. So to start with, let's do this. Let's hit the init button, which is right here. And I'm going to show you a plugin that we were talking about for a while, and I couldn't get it to work on this computer, and there was just a file I had to delete on the computer. So if we come down here to, where is it? This is audio modeling. Right here, they have Swam. I have all the instruments working, which is very cool. And very flute. Let me make sure it is still. The website for audio modeling's Very Flute is right here. And instead of being $199, it currently is $39. So here is the link in the video description. And I'll put it into the video description of the video. So I'm putting it into the chat. Sorry. But this is their first in a new series. I think they're going to do this with, get ready for lots of marketing from them, because they're going to be doing this to swap all instruments, to quite a few of these other instruments. They can do, if you don't know about these guys, let's go to the flute. Let's say, oh, and I have the audio in here. So this is the audio modeling's flute, which I need to use I need to set this up so that it's got expression mapping, learn to this controller here. So now, so these guys have nailed acoustic instruments as instruments. I'm using expression. Right? And so, I mean, they have all of these instruments that you can go between jazz or classical. And the amazing stuff with this is if you get in here, you can change components in the sound to do all sorts of really cool things. These are still expensive plugins for the actual full instruments, but they have this new series called Vary, which gives you some, like, they're integrating multiple models and they're simplifying them in their interface. And so Vary Flute is right here. And this is $39 right now. And, oh, I need to, it first goes, hey, I don't sense that you're playing with any expression. So you have to hit learn, move the controller that I want to control, learn there. So now, you can get to the overtone by just bringing up the expression to the top part. But you have controls here. To control the type of sound, and then you also have multiple instruments here. So they've integrated the class. But it's got the clicky noises. It's got all the elements. Pan flute. Let's see, make sure I got my controls over here. Now, these are monophonic instruments. Let me show you real quickly a really nice thing because, well, wait, what did I do with Unify? I quit Unify. I shouldn't have done that. If we get Unify working, there's audio and, oh, MIDI's not working. Let me fix this really quick. I gotta go like playback and then back to Scarlett. Let's get this to fit back onto the screen. Inside of Unify, you can take monophonic instruments and make them polyphonic, right? So let's go over here and say Vary Flute. And it doesn't see the expression because it's refreshed. So you say expression mapping, learn, move your controller. Now it's happy. So all you have to do is go up to your layer and say new MIDI effect, because the MIDI effect on top is going to control lots of layers. And we want to set it to polybox. Let's say 8 layers because we're going to make it 8 voice polyphonic. Let's say we want to add, we have the master effects we can use for overall control of brightness and stuff. So let's say replace the layer. And let's go over here to the master, to the optimizer light, which gives me the ability with the EQ to add brightness if I need it. I'm going to go over here. You just click here and you say, I want this to listen to the MIDI polybox right here. And MIDI channel set to 1. And then I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to say duplicate this times 7. And it makes 7 layers. And now, uh-oh. Why are you not working? It should be working. Oh, I think this all have to be changed back to MIDI channel 1. Let's see. Actually, let's do this. Let's go reset. Let's have the output MIDI channel. This is one of those where it's listening on a MIDI channel basis. So I need to say output to 1. And now let's duplicate it. And now it should work. No, it's not. Okay. I should have done this test before the live stream, huh? Anyway, I'm not going to try to figure out what I did wrong, but you can make it polyphonic. I'm going to do a little support library for the Very Flute, for Unify too, probably. But you can get it to be polyphonic inside of Unify. I don't know why it's not Very Flute. Because I had it. I have to remember what I did, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I was working with the guys at the NAMM show. If you go MIDI, expression, learn. Why wasn't it working? That's really interesting. I'm going to try one more time. Let's go over here. Let's go MIDI effects, polybox, 8 layers. Open up this really quick. It's set to mono and everything so that it should be working 1 per channel. We just have to listen to MIDI box here. Change to MIDI channel 1. And so it's doing that like that. So it's cycling, and then say duplicate. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably a MIDI CC thing, because they're sitting there just not getting volume to the CC. So, because this is only sending out on MIDI channel 1. That's what it is, I bet. So if I go down here, let's go to here and let's say, make this listen to, I'm pretty sure this is what it is. We'll find out in a second. So we go Very Flute 1, Very Flute expression, and then go over here to our pluses and say duplicate link to all layers. There they are. Yeah. My expression, oh, you know what? I need to do it to 2. So it was there, it was working, it just wasn't getting something to start the engine up with expression. Because if the expression is at 0, it's no sound. So now I'm playing polyphonically. So each of these layers could now be set to different pan positions. If you want to make it even like a cooler stereo spread of flutes, if you wanted, you could take some of these layers and make them be different plugins, but this is where something like these macro knobs are cool, right? Because I'm talking to lots of layers, even on different MIDI channels. This is not MIDI channel dependent. So it's able to control the parameters of 8 different of the same plugin that are listening on 8 different MIDI channels. So again, this is super. They don't make it polyphonic, but inside of Unify, you can make it polyphonic. So yay, yay for figuring that out. I was like, I got to do it one more time because there has to be something about it. So there you go. There's excellent MIDI wind controllers. That's a really cool way to get even more realism out of this, because as careful as I am playing, I'm not breathing while I'm playing. So it's not the same as if you had a breath controller. So for sure, a breath controller would make this even better, you know. Is the flute volt? No, these plugins, it's a flute. And if you sit and play the flute, you can't play chords. So, and I showed this to the guys with audio modeling, and they were not fans of playing these polyphonically because they would rather you played 8 tracks of each instrument with your own expressivity and all the controllers changing like it's 8 different players. Because it does get to where it sounds, they sound a little similar, you know, they're all doing the same thing. But you can do it. And, you know, when you take all the instruments they make and then you make them polyphonic and stuff, it's actually, you can make some really cool bands. Get the trombone and their sax and all these instruments. They're really incredible plugins. The level of control that they have. But if you don't have any of them, they now have an entryway into the audio modeling Swam. There's no sample models that I know of for sample libraries where you could play a sample and bring in the overtone anytime you want with a controller. So it's really wonderful. All the variations of the flutes, and you can play them polyphonically inside of Unify. So that is a very cool new synth to plug in to add to your little system. In fact, yeah, Michael Brecker is one of my favorite sax players of all time, by far. For them to. Yes, the arrow buttons move down. Yes, that's an important one. I don't like it when it does this and it's like going up the list and stuff like that. You're right. That's a pain in the butt. All right, next plugin to show you guys is a new synthesizer from Dawsum. I love Dawsum. If you're familiar, one of the libraries that you could get for $20 off right now, that is one of my favorites, is Dream State, which are samples that I created using Novum, which is one of Dawsum's plugins. It has just this incredible sounds of all sorts. The gentleman behind the Dawsum plugins is a very creative, super creative, always coming up with new things. He has a new plugin he's just released called Contrast. And it's right here. And it's, you know, he likes to think out of the box. He's a very out of the box kind of a person. And he has an interface where there is all these different possible images to start with as a wavetable shape, right? But on top of that, there's modulation controls to make it not just be a line going up and down. I mean, it's like very kindergarten level education, right? To just have a line that goes up and down. So he's one of the first that I can think of that has made patches where the wave is doing more than just a straight line. Sounds incredible. And then you can move the line. You have all these controls for if you want to be a full circle. Look at this. And I don't know if these things are all turned on right now. You have effects, you have the sequencer that's doing the parts, you have the filter. And tons of really cool presets of all sorts of sounds you've never heard before, because some you have. The envelopes have the ability to control curvature, which is nice. The effects section has a nice layout where you have all these different effects. You can change the order of the effects. And just the sound of it. I'll just play some patches. So it's doing really interesting things to a waveform being modulated by a table. It's doing cool things. You can drag your own images into this. So like here, let's do this. I worked up a whole bunch of images that will be in Unify 2. Let's see if I go over here. I'll show you a couple. There's background images that are over here. Let's see, way right here. So these are these images. Let's find one of these to play with. First of all, let me show you some of these. So these would be background images you can choose in Unify 2 that are photos I have taken on various trips to different places I've gone. Let me resize this so that it fits into the screen because I know it's a little bit wide. Like that. There. Like City at Night. This is in Costa Rica. I camped this summer in Washington in the Olympic National Park, and it was supposed to be a sunny weekend. Ended up being foggy at the beach. Sunny, literally like a half a mile off the beach. The sun was just shining like crazy, but at the beach. And sadly, the morning after this photo was taken was the reason that I went there was there's a full moon setting at sunrise. And I got up at 4 in the morning to take pictures, and it was just cloudy like this. So that didn't work out. This is a waterfall in the Olympic National. Actually, no, this is in the Columbia River Gorge outside of Portland. This area was ravaged by the fires that happened like 5, 6, 7 years ago when a kid threw a smoke bomb and it burned miles were destroyed and burned. And this waterfall will never look the way it does in this photograph. And this is one of these waterfalls that was not on a trail that you could like just walk up a trail to see. It was off trail. You had to scamper down the side of a canyon. You had to wear gloves and full clothing so that the poison oak didn't get to your skin. It was quite the adventure to get here, but it was just the most incredible waterfall. The Grand Canyon, all these cool pictures. Let's take this photo. This is the Columbia River Gorge. I don't know if you know this, but when there's a low tide, the water level of the Columbia River drops. I didn't know this. And one night I was out taking pictures and I saw that it was low tide and I went out and walked on. This is supposed to be lots of water. It's a fairly deep river when the water is high, but it can drop. I had no idea it could do that. So this is on the Columbia River standing in there. So let's take this picture and drag it in and it will convert it. Yeah. Let's try a different photo. Like the backgrounds for Unify 2, we have made new images that are like you're in a recording studio. It's really fun. Let me resize this so it fits on the screen. So let's put one of these in here. Let's see, which one do we want to play with? Jungles. Let's go to space. I love this one here. So let's use this one. Drag it here. So yeah, you can use any image you want as a wavetable that this is now dancing and so just the controllability is pretty exceptional. I think you just click like this to resize, Really interesting. Listen to that. So you have a visual light show with your sounds. Yes, that is the new logo for Unify 2 done by my daughter. It's pretty cool. So yeah. So anyway, let me find the website for you to see. This is at Traction Software, and this is Contrast. Let's see. I'm so tired of. I do most of my searching now with AI because it can go straight to what I want without all the, the news things and stuff that come out. Let's go to traction.com. TK.com. So if you go to traction.com, you will be right there at the site where you can see Contrast is here. It's not just another wavetable synth, as I'm clearly showing you. It can go into some really cool territory, and you can click the buy link right here, and it's available for $89 instead of $149. So that's a very nice 40% off introductory price. Let me show you some other sounds. Here, I'll give you a link in our little chat so you can see what's going on here. Stick around because we've got free plugins to show you in a minute that are super cool too. But that's just super cool. There's a browser here where you can choose by the author of the programs, by the categories. So you can hear drones. See this? Look at that shape. And each note is its own spaceship flying through the image. Really cool. You click the little spider orb and new sounds. This is a pretty good place to go. As you see, there's modulation sources through here. There's multiple LFOs. There's a random generator. I thought it's also cool. There's a scale over here. Let's go over here and find a plick sound. Let me show you really quick. Or keys. Okay, there's a key kind of sound, right? Let's go to the envelope. Let's go to the release, which is right here. If you click the scale button, you can choose all these different types of scale modes, and it does the mapping of how it's going to be. So if you want to be Phrygian, for example, I'm just playing the white keys. If I wanted to, and you can see it's selected the keys that you want to do. If you want to go to like Iwato. So now I'm playing like a Japanese scale. So you can change the keyboard input, and if you click the little dots here, you can make it any scale you want. So I could have it just do just C's and G's. Let's say C and G. You can control what inputs it will let you pass through the keyboard, which is really cool. So you can choose minor now. So that gets you playing different things on the keyboard, because it's like I'm learning a lot of things guitar players probably do. Some know the theory of what they're playing note-wise, but a lot don't. They're just playing and finding, oh, if I do this, that sounds good. And this kind of gets you into that kind of frame of mind, you know, because you're not thinking like a piano player, like, am I in the right key? Am I playing the right notes to be in oh no, I'm playing a major key note now when was started off in minor. I do that all the time, right? So here you can do really cool things like that. And there's a lot of things here that are not your typical, if you say blues. So these two notes, E and F, are just playing E. It doesn't let it go to F. Or it goes to F, doesn't let you play E. So really cool. That is contrast. All right. So that is a super fun thing to have. Let's close this so I don't see that. Next up, we've done very flute, we've done contrast. Let's do this. There's a public beta going on right now with UVI Uhbik plugins. UVI Uhbik. Let me see if I can find the link to the latest beta so you can download it. Let's see, upcoming version. For more infos and download, here is where you will want to go. Now, this is a series of 9 audio effects that UVI have put together. It's been around for a while. They've redoing the skins on everything. It has a whole different look. So let's do this. Let's go to, what library do we want to use to play this? Let's do this on, let's do bells and winds. Let's find something in MegaMagic bells and winds to play. So let's go down here to the BPM, maybe a pad or something like that. So this is a wave sequence pad, playing different bell sounds from MegaMagic bells and winds, which you can get on. It's $20 off if you use the $20 to spend to get this library. Only for Unify 1 for this version. It has all these patches. If we go over here and we type Uhbik, U-H-B-I-K, you'll see there's 9. You might not be able to see this. Let me make this up a bit and then go over here and say U-H-B-I-K. They have tremolo, shifter, run cider, which is like a really cool exciter kind of thing, phaser, grain shift, flanger, EQ, delay, compressor, and ambience. Let's play the ambience first. Here's the new interface for all their plugins. And again, from that link I just gave you, you can download a public beta and play with these right now for free. And then it's time expired. If you buy it now, you can get it for like $136 for the set of plugins. It's gonna be $199 when it comes out for retail, but it's really great. Now, if we go here to the list, we can say, nice. Where's our mix control here? So you have control over all these parameters in the stage, the decay, the model. Here's open. There's an LFO to play with, the visuals to work with, additional modulation sources you can get going on and stuff. So you can do some fun things with this. I think they have some patches that show off, like, yeah. So there's the reverb. There's another one that I really like is the grain shift. So if we go Uhbik, B-I-K, grain shift. This can do all the pitches and things, which is fun on a wave sequence, right? Here's taking it down a whole bunch in pitch. You can say what you're gonna have it do. So that's a lot of fun to play with. You can do granular kind of things like this. Bring down the mix. right? So lots of fun places to go with each of these plugins. And Unify is the perfect place because you can layer these up on top of each other and make stacks, and you can make auxiliary chains of the different things doing what you want. It's very fun. Hello, Bright Band in Cologne. How you doing? Anyway, so there's 9 plugins in that suite to play with from UHE, which is really cool. One more to show you, the Run Sider. Let me show you what this can do because it's really interesting. It can do like envelope follow, distortion. Had there just be a part of the sound in the background. Let's see. So here's without it. So it's doing some frequency enhance. All sorts of things. So it's a great way to like shift any of the plugins you own into new kind of sonic territory with the filtering and stuff that you get out of this plugin. So really cool set. Check them out. Again, it's a time-based public beta, so you can play them for a while. I think they expire after a while. Yeah, so that's very cool. Now we're going to get into, I think this is where we call up Logic and do some things. I'm going to have this quit for the moment. So we say, okay. And I'm going to go over here to audio 2. Now, I haven't tested this in a live stream, so I hope this works. The next plugin to show you is a really amazing plugin. I'm really enjoying playing with it. Let's see, it should be right here. No, it's not that one. Let me find where it is. I got it set up here. Here we go. So this is Evoke. This is from our friends at, who are these? Minimal Audio, right? Minimal, they make Current. They make some other really cool plugins. Let's see if I say new. Let's go. Minimal Audio. Here is their Current is now at version 2.0, which has a really cool player. And then if you go to plugins, they have Evoke. And this is an audio effect plugin. If you've ever wanted to sound like Jacob Collier when he's able to sing and play the chords on the keyboard and sing at the same time, this is your jam. You can do that with this. So there's the link for this. Let me show you. Again, I hope this works. I don't have audio routed for the live stream through Logic, so I don't know if this is going to work. So tell me if this works or not. If we go over here, I'm going to mute this. Testing 1. Do you hear my voice being processed? Do you hear processing on my voice is the question to ask right now. That's the question. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, good.
All right, so you have this really cool processing. It's currently trying to pitch track to my voice, but if I set it now it's set to my voice while I'm playing on my keyboard. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I wanna sing. I wanna sing like I can't sing, 'cause I can't sing worth crap.
So, one of my big complaints is that it keeps getting reset. I want a lock button, but you can listen to. And you've got controls for all sorts of things. You've got all these cool abilities, so you can immediately be Jacob Collier. Oh yeah, isn't that great? Oh wow, I can sing even though I can't, and I can play chords like I'm doing something that would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks of audio of someone singing I can do in one pass. So I could feed an audio track through this and get a really cool vocoder thing that I'm going through. And I could just do this by playing it real time. Oh yeah, isn't that bitchin'? Oh yeah, I can just do this and sing all day. They have all these models, so you can choose all these different kind of ways to mess up your voice if you want to do something that's different. It's still polyphonic. I'm following my keyboard for what it's playing, but it's now definitely not what you expect. There's blur, which will take and like, hey, do you really want to go in that door? I don't think you want to go in that door. That door is a bad door. What do you think you're doing in that room? You shouldn't be in that room. That's your mom's. So pretty cool, don't you think? And there's all these, like, these are textures, so you can say liquid. So now it's a liquid voice. You have control of the color and the width and the format and the blur. So there's no blur. Oh my gosh, I just got out of the ocean. I've been swimming there for 5 years. Oh man. Yeah, you can use this on anything. In fact, a really cool thing I'll show you in a second is you can feed this into Unify. And I'll show you that in a second, but isn't this cool? So you say synthetic, and now it sees I'm doing my cool little robot. I'm a robot. I'm a robot. I'm a robot in a garbage can. I'm a robot. I've been playing Borderlands 4, so it's a little claptrap humor if you're familiar. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. But I can play the chords, and I can have it be, and I can like mix this. If I go, where's my mix? Where's my mix? Right here's your mix. So if I go over here, here's my voice. So I'm just talking like this in a microphone, and then it's combining this. So I could combine the two together. So it's 50-50. Oh my gosh. It's so cool. I got something cool to say. So you can automate all these. I mean, it's a really cool tool. You can see how you could use this in all sorts of cool ways. As a musician, none of us can sing, right? Some of us can. To my voice that are into like new sonic territory. So it's not just the vocoder, it's a synthesizer. Isn't that cool? Yes. Well, it's cool for everything. If you're doing ambient tracks, there's patches here for ambience that are just super, super cool. Since I want to be, I want to be, all that kind of cool stuff you can do, and then bring it down just a little bit on the mix so that it's in like that. But I can change the format of my voice. I mean, it's a super cool tool. So let's stop there. Let's see. Let's stop that so that this is not working anymore. So we'll say Evoke. Bye-bye. Okay, so anyway, that is a crazy audio effect plugin that just came out that lets all of us that can't sing be able to, you know, a lot of us maybe have been chasing AI to do singing, and here's a plugin that lets you, and I can see a future of this technology where with AI modeling and stuff, they'll be able to make it to where you can sing and out will come a real female voice pretty soon. It won't be long at all because they're right on the cusp of that now. With a lot of these models and stuff, it's letting you shift things in cool ways. They need to get into the newer technologies for some of the things it's doing for harmonics and stuff. But this is really cool territory because you have this really cool synth, and then you have this really cool effect area, and you have all these different effects to play with. So you can add as many of these as you want. Just keep clicking and adding, and it just keeps adding. So you can add EQ, compressor, equalizers, reverbs, all these things. And then there's all these LFOs and curves and so forth that can be changing, like you heard in some of the patches, to get into like cool synthetic territory and stuff like that. So it's very, very cool. RFK Jr. Yeah, so it's a very cool plugin. Check it out if you need something. I was going to show you really quick. Let's go over here to Unify. Let me show you something really fun. If you take this, I'm on this big monitor anymore, so I'm getting spoiled by having a large display to work with. Go like this, and let me get up here to here so you see the notes that I'm playing. If you call up a patch inside of Unify, let's go to something cool, like let's go to Behemoth. This is the library that has all these really cool big sounds. Love that. Let me see my controls here. Well, if we want, let's see, I think this can listen even here to MIDI, right? So if we go over here to minimal audio and we go to Evoke, we now have put this effect onto a synth instrument, and you go over here and you say follow by MIDI. Well, let's go over here to like some sort of a dreamy kind of like, let's say motion. Let's say fractal steps. So now I was trying to explain, but I was having a hard time because I was being processed. This right here is where you choose how it's listening to what you're doing. It could listen to a MIDI track from like your sequencer playing something. The pitch track, which is what it defaults to, it's trying to auto-tune itself to the audio coming in. So if you have a singer on an audio track in your sequencer for a song you've written, you can use pitch track, and it will pitch track her and add the harmonies and stuff to the audio, which is really, really cool. But I'm a keyboard player, and so I want to go over here to MIDI instrument, and now when I play chords, so I'm putting this processing on top of the sound. And I can play with the format. I could feed it through different algorithms and then bring down the mix of it. So you can get into all sorts of trouble doing that. The problem is that they need to have a lock right here. I've emailed them the day that I was playing with this. I was like, guys, you need a lock because I'm only using MIDI. Like here it's doing this really cool shape LFO thing. And again, it's doing this. So it's a really cool audio processor inside of Unify, because Unify does this so easily to put something, even on the master effect level, it's listening to the MIDI I'm playing on my keyboard. So I can immediately start playing and jamming and taking this into really cool places with all these sounds. And I could go into this and I could mess up their well-designed things to be something else if I want. Super easy. So they're advertising it as a audio effect, but Unify breaks all sorts of lines, right? So that you can use this on a MIDI instrument. You could use this inside of Logic, although the concept of an, well, yeah, it'd be tricky. You'd have to do some routing. The thing, anytime you start using this in a DAW, you've got to do all sorts of routing to get the MIDI to be listening to it at the same time that you route audio into it, and it's got the audio, you know, here it's just, you just call it up on a patch and it's done, you know? This is a very cool plugin. This is one that I think can go all sorts of places that they didn't really advertise for it to go. Another place that's really fun to put this, go to like a drum groove, and it's just really insane. So let's go to Groove Summit. Let's call up some sort of really cool, okay, let's go Evoke. Let's evoke the Evoke. And we can go over here and let's find a cool patch. And they've got these motion patches. So we could go like, right? And then let's get it even more interesting by having it not pitch track, but go by MIDI instrument. Now you have like keyboard vocoding. And it's doing this. Let's see. To this. Hey, is Herbie here? Oh, Herbie, good to see you, my man. Yeah, this is dude, you got to play with this plugin, man. This is insane. It's very cool. It's so easy to play with all these. Get that to MIDI instruments, now it's a vocoder. And then go over here to the instruments and so forth, and like. Isn't it cool that Herbie's just hanging out with us? The legend, the one and only. Good to hear from you, my friend. Good to hear from you. But yeah, this is a plugin that can go lots of places, and inside of Unify, it's just like so easy to set up and experiment and play with it. Put it on pads, put it on drum grooves, put it on all sorts of things, and now you can play polyphonically. It's so fun. Now, if you wanted to get a little more carried away, like right now I have this on the master effects, right? So it's the whole sound is going through it. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want to have, let's do this. Let's have Evoke not be here. So we get our big sound back, our big drums. Say I want to like mix this in a different way. I could, it's getting complicated because there's too much going on here. So let's do this. We're going to hold down Option and say Init. And then I'm going to load Club Commander in here as a new Unify layer. And then I can hold down Option and delete there's this rule. That's a super cool trick. If you hold down Option or Alt on your PC and you click Init, it deletes all the other layers except for layer 1. So it's a quick way to strip out and simplify things to just one layer. And then I loaded that patch back in, but this time I used the load into a Unify as a layer. So that whole patch is now summed down into a single layer to manipulate. So it's easier for me to not have to do it to like 10 different layers of drums, right? And then I can go over here and I can say delete this top layer because I don't need this anymore. So I say delete. And now I have the drums just here. So I can turn down the dry signal and I could add a new auxiliary bus. So let's say add a new auxiliary bus and call up Evoke as an auxiliary effect, E-V-O-K-E. Because even as an auxiliary, it still gets MIDI. It's so cool how this works. I love it. It's just so awesome. So let's go over here. Let's say Cloud Angels. Now we don't hear it yet. Let's go over here. We say MIDI instrument so that we can be playing chords. So this is my auxiliary send to auxiliary 4, which is Evoke. And then here's the drums. So I'm not doing the mix between 50-50 because it's going to be, I can get more out of it by doing it this way. This sounds so much better than if I was to just send the whole thing through Evoke. So this is a cool way to get. Because now I also have the ability to have like the effects from the drums, so the delay. Let's have the phaser. Super cool, super fun. So anyway, Evoke is something everybody should have in their toolbox, and it's available at a nice introductory price. So yeah, you got to get it, man. You'll love it. You will love it. It sounds so good. All right, let me show you a couple of free things, and I'm going to play guitar, which is, Herbie, you have to go. Go away now because I'm playing guitar, and I'm not a very good guitar player. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. Because I want to show you a couple. Actually, I got something I can show you still inside of Unify before we go to me embarrassing myself. There's a new reverb that Eventide has available, and they have a stripped down version as their international. I mean, because this is a new type of a reverb in a way. I haven't seen it done this way before, so this is something that they can get away with doing this. They're doing a free simplified version that's still badass, because then they can release the version that does all the other stuff that you wish this could do that it won't do, and charge you money. You're going to want to buy it because it's very cool. So let's get drum groove and let's call up. This is from Eventide Audio and it's called Temperance. So let me get you the link over here because I like to give you links when we do stuff. So Eventide, let's see, Eventide Audio, and do I have Temperance? Yeah, here we go. Temperance, Magical Reverb. Here's their webpage for it. It is a free download. I'm trying to remember. This might be one that required an iLock account. So many of them require iLock accounts, which is not a big deal anymore for most of you guys, hopefully. Let me put the link into the video description here. I'm glad you like that groove. That's one of 1,200 that are inside of Groove Summit. So here's the groove through Temperance. And the thing with Temperance is they're calling it their musical reverb, but if you get into the technical terms, it's modal based, meaning as you see, there's a scale around this knob. And the scale allows you to selectively choose what notes are going to be played. So let's do this. Let's turn these off. And let's say we wanted to do C. Let's just do a major chord. Let's just say E. And let's add a D so it's got a nice little 9 to it. So that it's taking a drum groove. Or you can do the opposite. You can remove those frequencies. Like if you have a chord and some sounds are in the way in the reverb, you can remove those frequencies altogether from the reverb. So it can go either direction. Now, this is where I want transpose and I want to take it down an octave and I don't want to just be in this. So this is where they're they got you, because when the new version comes out, it's going to have all this other stuff. Other things that can happen, it's got EQ control, or frequency control, I guess would be. So it will let you have some sound continue through. Like if I went just a high end to play of the drum groove, but now all the low end is being fed into this. Again, drum groove, long decay, size. And then they have different presets, which here's where it's taking those particular frequencies out. Piano verb, they just, piano verb is like all frequencies playing all at once. So here, I got piano verb on my drums, and if you bring the decay down, it's really cool sound. And again, all you have to do is go over to the knobs, hit the little ear on something that's not assigned to something already. Hit the ear. Let's move to decay. And now, right? So, very cool free reverb that gives you a new way of dealing with reverb, and like being able to, if you're doing chill and you want to have like a certain chord that's just being pinged in the reverb, you can do it. It's very, very cool. So check this out if you want. Let's see. I'm going to look at my picture really quick of what I was supposed to show you all. Make sure that I'm not, because I'm right at the end of the live stream. Good. So we won't get into the synth programming part as deeply as I thought I was going to. So sorry about that. But there's one more plugin to show you, and it's a guitar effect. Universal Audio, in their hopes of wrapping you up wanting to buy all their guitar plugins because they're very good. Universal Audio. What is this called? It's let's see, go over here to audio. Here it is. This is their Showtime 64. And so if we go over here, Universal Audio, Showtime. Of course, you guys could all do this search yourself, but, I'm happy to be your assistant on this day to know what's going on. There. This is free. Again, these companies do this because they have really great marketing built into this. If you say, oh, I want more amps, it goes, hey, spend some money, because they have 4 other models that are more flexible in some respects, but this does some pretty interesting things. So if you'll recall, let's do this. Let's move this to the side for a second. Let's go over here. The new library that just came out. I'm going to play the guitar, one of the guitars that I sampled to make this library. So let's go to the 12-string clean. And so this, if I get this set the right way, and I turn on the audio input, it should be, here's the guitar that I sampled. Again, I'm not a very good guitar player, so I can play them well enough to sample them, and then once I've sampled it, I can but here it's that's about my chord knowledge right now is. And they have different presets, so you can. Let's go over here to the speed. Right? So free. And then it can do a handful of different things. Basically, they've made this, they've got some nice technology inside of here, but it's basically a convolution reverb type of a presets. For those of you that want to explore other areas besides things by Universal Audio, I'll point you to this. And I've shown this before because I use this to record the sound of the guitar that I sampled. And that's the Neural Amp Modeler. This is also free, and there are literally thousands and thousands of... And then if you want, you put this after it. And then just for you guys, here, we'll go back to Showtime for a minute. So let's go back to Showtime playing. And not the Neural Amp Modeler. So you can stay here. You have to go away for the moment. And then here, I wrote a little song to jam to. It has the, let's see, it's this way. Let's go like this. It has a drum groove from Groove Summit, which I could call up and change any of the elements and stuff like that. There's just a drum kit, and then I sequenced it inside of Logic, so you can see, go like this. Then I have the bass, which comes with MegaMagic Guitars V5. Right, so now you sound like a rock star. Again, I can't play, so get me on a keyboard. But now, instead of the Showtime, let's go over here and let's bypass Showtime. Let's get the Neural Amp Modeler. I think this is actually far more flexible. I have it pointing to the Alesis Pod 6. So I'm shredding, man. I'm shredding. But anyway, you get the idea, right? So free effect, it's okay. But Neural Amp Modeler slays it, has so many more options. If I go to the folder of the models that I have to choose from, it's disgusting. I mean, there's literally all these people have sampled their orange rock verb. So now I have all of these. If Universal Audio could, every one of these convolution presets would be a plugin that they'd have you spending money on. So that's basically the concept behind what they're doing. If I go to the matchless clone, right? So it's cool that they make free things. I bought all of the Universal Audio plugins because I am a good customer and they make them at very affordable prices. So of course we just buy them. But be aware of Neural Amp Modeler. There's a reason why people are like freaking out and using this all over the place, because it's not $200 like a lot of these companies are trying to charge for plugins. It doesn't do what they do. It does just a component of it, but it makes you sound really good. So there is some great twin models in NAMM. Okay, yeah, good to know. And Neural Amp Modeler is free. Yes. Let me show you. I'll find a link for it. Neural Amp. Oh wait, it's right there. Just neuralampmodeler.com takes you right to it. And it's interesting. They actually let people integrate this into their plugins. So there's plugins coming that use this, and you can get started, build. There's places here to go to the users and find out where the online for finding all of the convolution presets people have made. It's a very healthy community. They've got a lot going on. So anyway, I think that's about where we'll cut. I didn't embarrass myself as badly as I thought I would, but that was really fun. So I hope this helps you. There's some really fun plugins this week to show you guys. So we didn't even get into synth programming for once. So how crazy is that? But anyway, it was a plugin show. So we did a big plugin show. Cool. So shout outs. Let's do our shout outs from wherever you are at. I'm going to shout out from Eagle, Idaho, where I live now. Out from Eagle, Idaho. It's a mixed bag tonight. Yeah, well, like a little bit of everything, you know. Got it. I just keep my eyes and ears open for what's new and want to share it with you guys. So that's why I'm here. And soon we will be talking Unify 2 nonstop. So get ready. You guys will be sick of me pretty soon. It'll be funny. Shout out from, there we are, Poland, Colorado, Ontario, Canada, in Germany, Kasaka-san, wherever you are in Japan, getting up at 4 a.m, you crazy person. Thank you. Hands together, head bowed to you. Shout out from the UK, GRM3. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so we do this each Saturday. So join us if you want. We have a good time. We like to explore technology and plugins and what's going on and make it a good thing. So yeah, good turnout tonight. I'm really happy. So thanks for joining. We will be talking to you very soon. Have a creative week. And it's just a pleasure to get to work with all of you. We're all business partners because I do things and hopefully you are invested in my little company. By the way, $20 to spend, promo code, saves you $20 on any of the libraries at my website. So go get MegaMagic Guitars V5, go get Groove Summit, go get Novum Dream State. The Novum Dream State, by the way, comes with patches for the Novum plugin as well as the samples that I sampled from Novum put into Unify. So you get it for both Novum and for Unify in and of itself. There's so many other libraries that are so fun. All of Bob's, the Modern Sonics, all that kind of stuff. There's so much. Tim Dale with his Saber Sound libraries. Shout out to all you guys. Onward and upward. All right. We'll see you in a week. All right. Be creative and take care. Thanks for joining. Bye.